Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Does the camera look a little lower than usual?
Yes. Are you a little,
Or do we just
are you
look
a little lower?
or do we just look a little bit taller?
I don't think that's the case. I doubt it. But hopefully, I do identify as 6'5", so it is what it is.
I always say if you round 5'6" up to the nearest foot,
7 foot.
there you go.
So that works. It's going to be a bit of a husky episode, I reckon. Welcome back to the Split Shift Podcast, where we cut through the bullshit and the noise of the fitness industry. My name is Jamie.
My name is Dan. Welcome back to the new episode 18?
Oh, it is 18.
18. Wow,
18.
Season 4, episode 18. We have two questions for you, and we're going to absolutely blitz through this because we're not fucking around. We have shit to do, and you want to get some value out of this because we're here to help you. So we got
delicious.
We got a couple questions to give each other, and that's pretty much it. Last week we had a speed run, which is a very, very good episode. They're all very good episodes, but last one was very good. We had a very good time with it, so you should
particularly good.
Yeah, you should definitely go watch that.
I do believe that if we are going to do this, I think we need to make a commitment again to at least making one move whilst the other person is talking. So I'm just going to put it out there and say I assume it's your move.
It's not.
I'm in the assumption that it's your move.
I'm in fucking checking. I'm checking shit. I need to stay right there.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. Oh, no. You have one place you can move your king. I don't know why you... Actually, no, you can't. You literally can't even move your king. That's rough. Anyway, I think Danny's fine with the first question. So we're going to rattle it off for 6 minutes. We're going to have a good time. It's going to be fun.
Here's the thing, right?
Yep.
All right. My question for you, Jimbo.
Hold up.
I have the question for you. And you know what? This was a question that I asked. I got asked by a client, and I tried to remember it off the top of my head, and it's clearly not working well right now. So I'm going to go back to the resource. Jimbo.
Oh, I'm not ready.
Yeah, you are.
I didn't start that either. We're going to start that.
Question for you.
Okay.
Why do I always wait until I hit rock bottom before I actually do something about my health?
Tell me that's not everybody.
That's a deep
Tell me
thing.
that's not everybody.
Very deep.
The thing with rock bottom is the only place where there's no denial. Rock bottom is the only place where your excuses are, where your excuses and all that shit, it's not that bad. Susie from work's actually doing a bit worse than me. When you feel like you've hit rock bottom, there is no more denial. So you're almost forced to make a change.
I love that.
People can't live at rock bottom forever. A lot of people actually do, but that mustn't actually be their rock bottom. So there is no denial when you get to rock bottom. So people will often wait until they hit that to start making a change. And that is not what you want to do whatsoever. People often don't take action when things are kind of bad. And that could be for a multitude of reasons. One that I did have a conversation with one of my clients about recently was the fact, almost what I just said. Oh, but, the other people are worse. I'm not happy right now, but my friends from work, they're actually more overweight. They complain even more. So I'm not really that bad, So they'll only change when it's undeniably bad. Not when it's kind of bad, when it's undeniable, the amount of pain, the amount of discomfort you're in, the lack of happiness and fulfillment in your life. And it comes down to lack of alignment with your values. And we'll get to that in a second. Pain becomes your permission slip when you're in this mindset. When somebody needs to hit rock bottom to make a change, they're relying on pain to be that permission slip to change. If you are relying on that every single time that you go through this, you're grounding this area of your life, or you're grounding change with pain. You're grounding progress in your health and fitness area with such a negative connotation. Tell me one thing that would ruin your relationship with something more than that. When you're forced to change just because you're in immense pain. That can be an awesome motivator at the start. And a lot of people create massive results from that. And that's brilliant, that's great. But if you've done it time and time again, it is a recipe for you completely resenting this area of your life. And that is a very, very bad thing. You end up building your identity in that chaos. Your whole identity in this area of your life is built through chaos because you're not really choosing to make a change. It's only when you're forced to. You're never acting proactively. It's always reactive. That's never going to be a good situation to be in if you do want to create lasting change. And what we talk about here is about creating lasting change. What we need for you is for you to be able to create a lifestyle that you are fulfilled with, you love, and you can sustain for years and years and years. And you can use to inspire others. That's the fucking dream. Think of it like, let's say you've got a leak in your roof. You've had a leak in your roof, it's been dripping, it's been getting worse and worse and worse. You know it's been getting worse, but you don't really do anything about it because it's just a fucking drip. You put a bucket under it, you're getting another bucket. You go to Bunnings, you get the fucking 10-pack of buckets. Before you know it, you got a skip bin out the front, collecting all this fucking water and debris falling from your roof until finally it fucking collapses. Your roof collapses completely in on you and you're forced to buy a new house or you're forced to have to knock that shit down and rebuild. That is the same thing. The idea is you need to take yourself out of that. The way we do that is first by creating a yellow flag system. I would say step one, create a yellow flag system. So this could look like, instead of it being a red flag, I'm fucked, everything is fucked, I'm depressed, everything is horrible. Create some yellow flags, create some indicators for yourself that shit's just going off track a little bit. It could look like anything. It could be my motivation or my energy levels are really low. It could be I've skipped my meal prep for a week. It could be I haven't actually been to the gym in 2 weeks, and I know that's really important to me. Little yellow flags that just mean that you need or you require a little bit of an adjustment to get yourself back on track. I do this every year for myself, you know. We talk about, me and my fiance, we sit down somewhere first day of each year and we map out a whole life. Yes, you do the goals and that sort of shit, but you map out how the last year went in the different rooms of your life. So how did business go? Rate it 1 to 10. How did, relationship go? Rate it 1 to 10. How did mental health go? 1 to 10. Physical health, 1 to 10. For mine, 1 year, my mental health was really fucking low. And I knew, what was I missing? I wasn't meditating. I got too busy with work and all that sort of shit. Too busy, whatever that looks like. I got unaligned. I fell off that alignment for my mental health because I was focusing on other areas, which is fine, but you just need to make sure you continuously align yourself. So what I had to do was, okay, I need to make sure that every single day I get back to my, whatever it is, gratitude, meditation, fucking breath work, whatever that looked like for me. Now that I have a base around that, I can just do slight adjustments. When I feel like I'm coming out of that a little bit, when I feel like my mental health is deteriorating a little bit, I can be like, okay, cool, let's just meditate every day for a week now. And that'll just put me back on course. It's about switching that autopilot on. So we're just constantly correcting course until we get to that destination, whatever that destination looks like. From there, I would say step 2 is reframe your actions as alignments. All right. So every time you're taking those actions, reframe it like I'm not trying to fix everything. I'm no longer fixing everything. I'm just realigning myself. All right. Step 3, you need to make maintenance sexy again. Aligning everything with who you ideally want to be. Align everything you're doing with who you ideally want to be. And then you're just maintaining the things that you're doing to get there. You're maintaining that ideal lifestyle that you're living. Once you're living that lifestyle, you need to realize that if I maintain this, that's a fucking massive achievement. Because people can achieve awesome results, but very few can maintain it. You need to reframe how you're actually showing up. So obviously you can do outlandish, amazing things when you hit rock bottom. You can fucking bounce back crazy. But how are you showing up for everybody when you're only rotating between feeling shit and feeling fucking disgustingly horrible? If you're just bouncing between, I'm not really happy and really, really horrible, and every time you get to, I'm not really happy, you're like, but it's okay. So I'll just chill here. And then you go back down here. It's a very, very poor way to live. And you're not going to be able to show up for the people that you want to show up for. That's the biggest thing. You're actually doing a disservice to the things you care about. That's that.
Nice, man.
Thanks,
Very well done.
Thank you,
Very
man.
well done. That reminds me of, I remember what Chris Williamson said. It was a podcast snippet. He mentioned where the worst place you want to be in is in that limbo period of your life where things aren't super amazing, where you want to push for more change, and where it's so shit, where it's just bearable. It's just bearable. You know what I mean? That's like I think they call the happiness equation we mentioned before. It's like when you have a shitty situation, but it's said, but Susie at work is fucking 20 kilos overweight and hating herself. I'm not like that. you feel a little bit better. That's like, it's a strong contrast to say, I'm not as bad, even though I am bad, I'm not as bad as others. But that gets people stuck in that little limbo period of like, there's not enough pain there where we need to change, we need to do something about it, but it's not exciting and like compelling or aligning where they want to keep going. It's just coasting. But they do this for decades. They do this for years, And I love that the way that you see that with like, the yellow flag system is such a valid thing. When you have a certain standard, especially when I chat to a lot of my clients, we use one of our yellow flag systems and this is a great way to reframe negative emotion, but what do you feel guilty about? And we use a bit of guilt as a bit of a guide to say, everyone has a certain standard. Everyone has a certain level of to say, this is good enough. Below this line, not good enough. And when you're doing the thing, things are feeling good, and you give yourself a little bit of buffer room, of course, because it's never going to be that black and white. But there is a point where to say, if you're really dropping the ball, you're probably going to feel some negative emotion. You're probably going to feel a little bit shit about yourself, probably feel a little bit more guilty, whatever it may be, or you feel like, you are capable of doing more, but you're not doing the thing. A great way to reframe those negative emotions is to say, these are my guidelines. These are my friends telling me to say, hey, we are steering off course. We need to go back onto course. So we're changing what is perceived as like, oh fuck, I feel guilty, I feel shit, and you're gonna be stuck in this pit. That's letting me know. It's letting me know that that's actually not where I want to be right now, and that's okay. So you just want to say, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do differently? What do I need to bring back? What do I need to change? And then you steer yourself back onto course. So I absolutely love that. The yellow flag system is so valuable. Heaps, because you're so right. Like you go from you're either green or red.
Yeah.
It's only, especially because where there's so much pain, we said about this in the podcast many, many times, people will run away from pain faster than they would towards pleasure. So when rock bottom is so fucking bad, you're like, I need to do something about it.
Exactly.
Because I can't be here anymore. And it's a fascinating form of self-sabotage. I think I've definitely been there many, many times over the years. I had to be in an insane amount of pain to be able to say I've got to do something about it because I was just coasting. But yeah, yellow flag system works really well. Yeah, big fan.
Yeah, and it's a survival thing, right? Like humans, we're wired to seek comfort typically. Some are wired other ways, but the majority of us, we're wired for comfort. So as soon as we get some level of, be it financial comfort or, lifestyle comforts, we're going to gravitate towards that. The odds of us trying to get out of that and risking, losing that's terrifying for a lot of people. So it's important that we're just aware of that and we can make the right changes so that our start line is no longer immense pain. We can't make our start line from this area massive pain because then, like I said, you're just going to ruin this area of your life completely. And this is the only area of your life that's never going to leave you. This will be following you for the rest of your life, whether you like it or not. So you better really focus on improving your relationship with it because it's not going fucking anywhere. Did you make a move, by the way?
Yep.
Oh, you did. Nice. Hell yeah.
All right.
Yeah. My question for you.
Yeah.
Sweet Prince. Why do I fall in?
Great question.
What do you reckon?
I think
if you had to answer.
If I had to answer.
In 3 words, yeah. What would you say?
Was Mercury retrograde?
That makes you think. Why do I fall off when things start to feel good?
Why do I fall off when things start to feel good?
Yeah. Why?
That's a good question.
Thanks.
That's a very good question. Why do I fall off when things start to feel good? Mm-hmm. Good question, man. That's a big question too. Self-sabotage, right?
Am I right?
I'm definitely, that's it. Just self-sabotage. Don't do it. Good question indeed. It is definitely somewhere I've been in the past as well. I relate to a lot of this stuff though. A lot of, when I hear these questions from my clients and people's experiences, I can definitely relate to this to some point as well. I've definitely self-sabotaged when things have felt good. Like, when I was kind of gaining momentum, and I feel like I'm doing the thing and I'm progressing, and then I would do something where I would like fall back to laziness, or I would, like drop, drop the ball, as some people would say, whatever the ball is. But I was that too. And this is it's a crisis mode. It's when we're kind of reveling in chaos, where all we know is chaos. The house we're in is chaotic. It's wild in here. And the issue with that is this chaos, it's kind of addictive. It's pretty addictive and it's familiar. And especially when we move out of that unfamiliarity is a nervous system shock. We go into this freak out mode of just like, fuck, things are too calm. We're actually doing good. I need to self-sabotage. I need to fuck some shit up. And this kind of reminds me of a good analogy that I use with one of my clients, is that think of it as like you've been living by the water. We live in Wollongong, we live by the ocean. You're used to waves crashing. You're used to big, like barrels, whatever, you hear the sound, whatever it may be. And one day you go by the water and it's calm. It's dead calm. It's unfamiliar to you. It's almost like a freak out. So what you do, you're just kind of splashing around. You're creating chaos. I need to make some waves. That's essentially what we do. We go back to what we know. I need to go back to what I know. So this crisis mode is that we need to be able to reframe that and change that. The first thing that I would definitely look to address with this is learning to be able to actually sit in it. Learning to be able to say that this is where you're meant to be. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, because actually Jamie brought it up in his last point too, is learn to be able to actually sit in the calmness, appreciate the moment. So like this level of presence to say, no, you're exactly where you need to be right now. Now it's very deep, but all these questions are deep and it requires a bit of deep thinking. So how do we look to do with this is that we want to stack wins. We want to appreciate where we are by stacking wins. So we're going to rewire, which I'm going to come back to in a second. But when we're looking at sitting in this calmness, we're not focusing on what do I need to do to create my familiar state, is that we're starting to change our perception on calmness as a positive thing. So when we're looking at more of, can we create calmness as a point of satisfaction for consistency? So can you associate you building momentum, you doing the thing, things are actually good, the house isn't going to get burnt down, it's okay. Can we associate a calm house or, like achieving goals, whatever it may be, as a form of consistency? Can we create satisfaction from that? So the one thing that we do that, and I cannot stress this enough, is that to rewire this, you need to stack wins. You need to be able to see what you're actually achieving. And I didn't realize how fucking hard it is for so many people. And logically, it actually was really hard for myself once upon a time. Still can be sometimes if you have high standards, whatever it may be, a different conversation. But in general, hyping ourselves up is extremely hard. Especially, I've come to realize that in Australia, tall poppy is a massive thing. For some reason, we just do not appreciate or hype ourselves up because we come off as arrogant, or we come off as cocky or something like that. You need to change that. You need to rewire it to say you are appreciating what you are achieving because you're putting in work. You're just giving yourself a pat on the back. You don't have to be boisterous. You don't have to be throwing yourself out and say, look at me, look what I've done. Okay, if you want, whatever, toots your horn. But if you don't want that, it's fine. Just give yourself a mental check to say, fuck yeah, pat on the back. I'm really proud of myself. You're stacking wins. And again, like last week's episode, you should totally watch it, is you're stacking proof. You're stacking proof that you are the person that you say that you're becoming. Again, I'm going to talk about that later. So when we're looking to rewire, we're stacking proof and stacking these wins. So we're changing what's becoming our normal. Our normal was chaos. Our normal was the barn's burned down. Like we need to get shit going. There needs to be some problem in our lives. We need to rewire that. So chances are there's going to be challenges across the path, across the journey, where you're going to sometimes want to come back there because it's familiar. So you're just going to audit that. So audit your thinking and audit when does it happen? At what stages of your journey does it happen? Has it happened before in the past? Has it happened before at an X point, or when you start to lose that first couple of kilos, whatever it may be? Audit when it's going to happen. that's going to give you a better indication and a better zooming out awareness to say, okay, I will preemptively know when this is potentially going to happen because again, our subconscious mind will just go back to what it knows, right? So it is just the old you, you're moving to the new you. So the last thing is when we're looking at this whole thing is that we're focusing on the process, not just the emotion. So when you're looking at 15 seconds, when you're focusing on the rather than the process, you're focusing, again, it's in itself, just focusing it objectively, right? So you're just doing the thing of like, here's my non-negotiables. This is the person I need to adhere to. Now, last thing, above all this, you need to have a North Star. And a North Star is your ideal self. What Jamie just said before. Zoom out 12 months down the track or whatever it is, who is that ideal person that you want to become? Who is that person? Because when you start to see it that way, you will understand the process, you'll fall in alignment of the process, and what Jimbo said before, but you'll also recognize that these little wins that you're creating that you may fall back to the self-sabotage are just little milestones because you're like, fuck yeah, I've lost my first couple kilos, but I know I've got to be here. This is where I really want to be. So you've created you've thrown this yardstick, this long-term vision that's so fucking aligned with what you want to do and who you want to become and the life that you want to have, that these little processes, these little, bits of improvement are just little milestones. And that's a beautiful thing because you're stacking these wins. So it's a strong contrast to say, recognize where it's coming from, knowing that your body may want to subconsciously go back to that, but have a yardstick and have something that you can really look forward to and reframe that way of thinking by just stacking wins. That's all I really got.
Boom.
Boom.
Nice. I like that.
Anything to add?
Yeah, 100%.
You really go into a lot of that.
I know.
Identity.
Yeah, fall off when shit feels good. Super common, and that does tie into what we were talking about in that first point as well. It's wherever you're starting from, wherever your home is, it's hard to leave there in general. And like what you're saying about the splashing in the water, that's literally what we do. Well, whatever we're used to, whatever is our normal, it ends up becoming our identity. We end up cementing belief systems around that identity. So every time we leave that, every time we get somewhere, you're like, oh, this is good, but also I don't fucking belong here. It's like when you're staying in that really nice Airbnb, but you were living in the fucking shithole at home. You stay in this really nice Airbnb, you're like, oh, it's nice. It's nice. Can we go home now? You're not going to want to stay there for that long because it's not actually your home, unless you decided to make that your home. What you need to do is find out why that place was your home in the first place. Figure out what your belief systems were around that were keeping you there. Why could you not have left there before? Was it, I'm the person that's always just trying to lose weight. I'm too old. Is it, that's not who I am. It's not in my genetics. My family's always been overweight. Whatever that looks like for you, figure out what the belief systems were that have been keeping you here. So next time that you actually achieve awesome things and you're going towards that North Star, that identity that you ideally want to be, your next pursuit of that can be your last one because you're in pursuit of that. And once you get towards that and things start feeling comfortable, they start feeling kind of nice, you're getting a few compliments, you're like, oh, thank you. I am feeling really good in myself, actually. You start getting a little bit uncomfortable because you're like, well, this is not going to last. Because I'm that fat person, remember? This is not going to last because my parents are all fat and my aunties and uncles are all fat and we all just like binge eating food and I'm doing things that, that they're all not doing and everybody in my work's fat and like fat's just normal to me and, I can't really have a good relationship with food because I know food is just a crutch for my poor emotions and I've never really dealt with. You start rattling off all these things. So it's important that you figure out what the fuck's actually going on. What has been keeping you there in the first place? And how can you deal with that to make sure they no longer stop you? If you do not deal with that shit, regardless of how fucking well you do, regardless of how much weight you lose, regardless of how close to your ideal self you end up getting towards that, or how close towards that you end up getting, you're always going to go back. You're always going to go back home. No matter how fucking nice that Airbnb is, you're always going to end up driving home afterwards. Unless you fucking do sell that house and move to the new one. That's the only thing I'd add, just fucking that belief system base. You're just going to keep rewiring that. But exactly, you need to be fucking able to, like Danny said, get to a place where you feel good and then breathe for a minute. Breathe for a minute, get calm. and then figure out what's actually going on here. Why do I feel these things? If you have a bit of self-awareness, you're going to be able to go miles further than the next person with a little bit of self-awareness. That can even come back to these yellow flags talking about last point. You know, figure out your yellow flags. Oh, I start feeling good. And when I start feeling good, typically I start skipping gym sessions. Typically I lose my focus a little bit. Why is that? It's because I'm used to being fucking overweight and miserable. Do I want to keep doing that or not? Oh, well, I don't. Okay, well, let's start figuring that out. Let's start writing down the things that are actually going wrong here, you know, and start actually changing that and reminding myself, this is why I'm fucking going to where I'm going. Then aligning yourself with that, and then you'll be fucking sweet forever, baby.
Yeah. Nice, man. It's very true. I'm glad you said that, exactly that. I'm like figuring out the belief of where you're at right now, your current state, as we like to call it. You know, this is where you're at in life right now. This is who you are, this is who you believe you are. You need to figure that out. I was going to say something and then I completely forgot.
We're going to say something about making a chess move?
No, definitely not.
No, this game is it always gets to this point where Danny's getting fucking smoked.
I want to call that.
And he just stops making moves every game.
Whatever.
Whatever.
I'll make moves. That wasn't even a good move either. Fuck. Anyway.
That's all right, man. It's all right.
So, this was a quick episode.
Before we do that, I just wanted to let you know you're in check.
Yeah, I know.
Check. Let's see how this goes.
Well, it's the only thing I can do.
Well, anyway, to wrap up the episode.
Yeah, sure. Let's wrap up the episode there. That is the episode. That was a quick one. What is it? 25-ish?
Oh, I was a couple minutes under. But yeah, it's probably like 26.
It's nice way. Speed run. Wait, that is like quick 30-minute walk for you. That's an easy 6K steps or something like that for you. Happy days.
Nobody's going the stepper for more than fucking 25 minutes, let's be honest.
Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're on YouTube, you're looking at our faces right now, give us a like and subscribe and comment on it. If you're on Spotify listening to our voices, give us same thing. Give us a 5 stars, give us a rating, follow us, comment down your experience or your questions in your own journey, because we want to answer it all. We do speed runs, we do client questions like this one. We do, what's the other one? We do also
Our opinions on shit that you need to hear.
They're really fun. And also every now and then we do have guests. We'll find that. Maybe comment our next guest.
Yeah.
Do that.
Actually.
Fucking pull yourself
This
together.
may be probably the second last episode of this season too. So
Sure.
let us know what you want to see for the next season. We'll talk about this a bit more next week, but we'd like to hear what you want us to hear more of. We're going to knuckle down a little bit and fucking double down on this shit to give you guys massive value as well.
All the value.
Yeah, we've been busy and we understand that, you know, we still want to show up for you guys as best we can. So
Correct.
yeah, this is important and we enjoy it. And I hope you guys enjoy it as well.
It is true. This is actually our quality time. Even despite we work every day next to each other in the same gym, we barely speak to each other at work. It's actually a true story. But
It's usually a butt grab and like a nipple twist and then on with our day.
Bit of a double eye blink.
Yeah, oh, fucking hell.
Nice. We'll see you next week. Also, in new seasons, big changes coming. Keep you on later.
No, I better cut that. Getting a sex change.
See you next
I can
week.
keep the same name. So can Dan.
See you next week.
Bye.